So if you had, and I think we've touched on this before, if you had any, we'll just put this in America, a place where you would want to reside for the next, your next, wherever you go to next, where would you want that to be? If you could choose.
I would say I've narrowed it to 3. Can I
Okay.
say 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee.
I knew that would be one of them.
Yep. Uh, LA, Southern
Okay.
California. Ooh, this next one's tough. I'd say right now, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to say New York, but I don't think New York. I'll wait for New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nashville and LA would probably be my top 2 picks.
See, the good thing now is, as far as doing what we want to do, LA and New York would be great places to be as far as that goes, but it's not obtainable. It's not out of the question to be in other places and do those things now, which is great.
That's for sure.
Yeah, because before you were like in the Ed Burns days, if you didn't live in one of those locations, you were basically up the creek.
Yep.
Nothing you could really do. And now, we can do virtual film fests. I submitted Carnival to a film fest and we got in. We didn't win anything, but I felt honored just getting a little project in.
Yeah.
So
even producing, like, let's say you wanted to produce a feature film and you wanted to have a decent budget of it, like $500,000 to $2 million, you could still live anywhere you want to live, and then go to Georgia, shoot it for a month, and then go back to where you were before. And that's it. And maybe you might have to take a couple trips to California, but you show up on those trips and you've got all your meetings planned, and you fly back out. Like, there's no reason.
That's kind of how what you just stated is kind of how what I like to do.
Yeah.
Have like a one central location place that you're kind of living, which for me, I would, if I had to choose 3, can I have like Charleston, Savannah as like one region?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that, but yeah. Coastal Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't mind there. To go out and do business. Like if you were out there in Los Angeles to do business, I would want to go. If I were just by myself, once again, not really. Which you have Alex with you as well. So
yeah. Exactly. I got one other person. At least I know one person when I get there.
You've got at least a one person advantage.
Yeah.
I have Terry at Slab City though, so I could always come there. So
there you go.
Her cabin's open to me. But yeah. So I would choose there, and I really wouldn't mind if Orlando, I like that region as well, but that's a very similar region as Savannah and Charleston, kind of a coastal region. I've went there twice, and I had great experience both times, So either there, or I wouldn't mind like the Chattanooga, Knoxville.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind there. I like to be in a city, I guess. If I were in a city of my choice, maybe 150, 200,000, not huge, but not small.
Yeah.
So okay. I think Savannah would be, number 1, obviously. But yeah. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful weather is one reason I want to, I noticed none of us said cold places.
No. That New York's the only cold. Now, Chicago would be close on my list.
Yeah.
But like if I ever live north of, whatever the line is, it's going to be Chicago, New York, Toronto, or Seattle.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not moving to Bozeman, Montana.
What if this was the scenario? Because I have sent out random air checks in the past just to random places. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Boise, Idaho, Kansas City, Kansas, just random places. So what if I send one out and it's to Lincoln, Nebraska? So I send an air check. They say they like us. And I say, Jake, the station in Lincoln, Nebraska wants us to do a morning show, $50,000 each but we got to do it there. Contract for at least a year. Do you go or do you not go?
Oh yeah, I go.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
I go to Lincoln, Nebraska. I go to Omaha, Nebraska. Here's the like, we're living in a culture in a time where like you don't have to settle down if you don't want to.
True.
So
True.
it's like, shoot, I put in a year there, and here's the thing: as long as they have access to a close airport, I got no problem. I
Well,
can
see,
always get back.
my thought as well, if you're making, like you could, some people would argue, well, 50 grand's not a lot of money. But I mean, right now it's you and Alex for the moment. So, and then she's working as well, but 50 grand for me, it's just myself.
Yeah.
That's more than enough to do what I need to do. Because
When
I don't,
we
what am I really doing,
when we got married, we were dirt poor, like dirt poor, and we set up a budget and we lived off of nothing. And now the older we've gotten, the more we've kind of progressed in our jobs a little bit, um, but we still live with the same mentality that we're dirt poor.
Yeah.
So it's like 50,000. That I could live off of that. I could live off that twice.
Yeah.
Alex could even quit her job
Yeah.
and we'd still be fine, because it's like, if you once you get that budgeting down and you just realize that, like, because to me it's like, I wish I would do this stuff for free. Like I really would. I'm hustling. I have all these side hustles so that I can continue to do this kind of stuff. I'm teaching at all these different schools so that I can keep producing, and then I'm
Right.
going to have freedom to do things. So it's like, it's never about the money. It's always about the
Work.
fun and enjoyment of the work.
Yeah.
Oh
Same.
yeah.
Well, see, I would really like, and I've said this before, turning the YouTube channel into making money, which were 826 watched hours.
Getting there.
So we should have that very soon, and then we'll be able to apply. But then hopefully by then there'll be some content constantly coming out. However, when this starts making revenue, I would love to get to the point of making X amount of dollars, but enough to where the channel making shows, making sketches, making even features, because if we make features, now we're at a point where we can put them on the streaming service if we want to.
Mm-hmm.